little. Little.
Is Stadia officially dead again? Thanks to Nividia, has the media changed its tune about Stadia, and how big a role will the carnivorous virus play in the future of Stadia and its competitors? Let's get into it.
Not sorry. Stay sick cause I follow my gut. They say I was pushing my luck. I'ma push me, I'm at all black truck. Or I'm not sorry.
What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy, MM2K, back again with another episode of the Stadia Stream Connect podcast. I deeply apologize for all these delays. It's the wonders of technology. What can you say? You know what I'm saying? What can you say? That being said, I'm glad that we have people that are here right now, that are following, that are watching us live. We are on the Stadia Dosage. And if you like our content, if you like the fact that we give you the real deal Holyfield about everything Stadia, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells so you get notified when we're live, when we're dropping new videos, things of that nature. I think we had a great episode last week. You know what I'm saying? Great episode with Duncan. We showed that we do not live in some vacuum here as fans of the platform, that everybody has different, takes on different aspects of the whole ecosystem. And it was very important to have Duncan, or to give Duncan an opportunity to fully vet those out live on air. You know what I'm saying? Most of which I agreed with. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes you need that tough love, baby. Sometimes you need that tough love. And I'm going to tell you this much. There's inner battles within the Stadia community, right? And I'll just go over this real quick as we let everybody fill up into the room. There are battles within the Stadia community. A lot of people within Stadia are of two main mindsets. If there's problems, let's not really get too, hey Duncan, let's not get too deep into them. Or rather, if there are problems, we need to just beat them over the head with it. You know what I'm saying? And those are two extremes that I particularly don't care for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I prefer that we as a community, we be balanced. Where Stadia is not doing well and they're not doing so, whether it's intentional or not, we need to bring it up. However, we don't need to beat dead horses over stuff that we know reasonably are taking some time. You know what I'm saying? So I think Duncan is a good balance of that. And he stated, and he showed so last week by giving you a very in-depth look at some of the things that even On Live was doing way back when, and some of the expectations that we have now. With that being said, the platform is fantastic. And the platform is the best damn platform out there, baby. Hold on. Uh-oh, something's coming through the airwaves. MM2K. There was another Stadia killer. Who is it? It's Nividia Geforce Now with his game sessions. Like, stop it. But before I get too far into it, let me give a big ups to everybody that's watching now, that is in the chat. Cold Blood Sensei, no, I did not fix the loots for this channel. My deepest apologies. Just make sure you at me in the here. I'll definitely go over comments. You know what I'm saying? Big ups to the homie. Speaking of Duncan, what's up, Duncan? And anybody else, if you want to give a quick shout out or whatever, what Cold Blood Sensei is referring to is the loot chat messaging system, free of charge. You can help out the channel, help out its growth, but it's not your only. Hey, that's not your only avenue. All it takes is $1 to dream. You know what I mean? The Nightbot will put out their ways that you can tip the channel, help support us, help bring you more great content, help me get what I need to do the comparisons that I did do. You know what I'm saying? That shut everybody up. Hey, look, funny story, and then we're going to get right into the meat and potatoes because I don't want to take too long doing this week. That being said, I just left the DM. I told y'all about this DM, right? Where I'm with all of your favorite YouTube entities, right? And I just left the DM, and in the heat of Stadia getting all this acclaim from people like Tom Warren, oh my God. And then the other people that are saying, you know what, this platform is great. Now we're going to tell you why cloud streaming is going to be the future. Now, and everybody's talking about Stadia in that equation, right? And they're still bringing up the fact that they're lacking in games. But you don't see as much bloviating and as so much false rhetoric as you did. A couple of people tried it. My friend, what's his name? Robbie Kokos from PC World. He tried to make this article, Nividia kills Stadia. It's the 9th Stadia killer this week, right? But despite some of those one-off situations, it seems like that the gaming media is starting to turn around a little bit. And they're like, this thing has legs. And especially after people like Duncan help illustrate that this is the data collection phase. They really are not listening to too much of the hating. You know, they're paying attention to fans, but they're not listening too much to the hating. And to Duncan's point, he feels that they should be doing, some more, but they're not listening to the hating. They're collecting data. They're getting revved up for when they release the base model, which is free. Once they release the base model, then you'll see them throw the kit and caboodle out. But until then, they've turned off their hearing aids and they're not listening to any of the haters. And now it's coming more prevalent, that's becoming more prevalent, that they're just not some startup company that don't know what they're doing. They're just taking a very defined role in action as far as keeping their heads down, being quiet, collecting the data, and then when they feel like they're ready to fully flesh this thing out, then they're going to come with the onslaught of games. They're going to come with the onslaught of features and all other stuff. Now that's becoming more prevalent to everybody than anything. And then that has led to people like Phil Spencer coming out of the woodwork and saying, look, I know y'all want me to pick up my pitchfork and go against Nintendo and Sony. Those ain't my competitors. My competitors are the people that are going to be spearheading this cloud thing. And we got a lot of work to do. So even though there's a lot of people that are still getting free clicks, like those fools over at Game and Bolt with their silly stuff, even though you still have that happening, the people that matter, the people with the statistics, the people with the know, the inside knowledge, the inside track, know not to believe that rhetoric. They know the real deal. That's why they put Stadia on the pedestal like they did this week. So I found it funny and ironic and really silly. I didn't want to really engage too much because I was prepping for the show when an Xbox goon came to me in the DM and said, Stadia's dead. You got to deal with the reality. The reality is your CEO just put him on his pedestal for a reason. They're wearing out their depends for a reason. So you can say whatever you want to make you feel good about your little piece of plastic. These companies are trying to thrive and survive. And while they're trying to do that, they'll let you play your little rhetoric games on the ground. But the reality of it is, and it speaks volumes, when the CEO of Xbox, he didn't have to come out and do that. He was Xcloud is the darling of all of the media. He didn't have to come out and do that. But he's like, yo, I'm going to have to make a big pivot, and I want y'all to understand why. I'm not going to play these games with these people that I feel aren't on my level. The people that really keep me up at night are Google, even though everyone says they're dead, and Amazon that ain't even here yet. So apparently Phil sees something that y'all refuse to see. So y'all can continue with your armchair quarterbacking. Y'all can continue with your rhetoric. You can continue doing your American Pie rendition on your favorite piece of plastic. Y'all know what I'm talking about if y'all saw the movie. But it's not embedded within reality. So I just wanted the gaming community to bask upon that. With that said, let's get started. But before I get started, let me go give a shout out to the people out here in the chat. Ronell says, Dose, what's up? What's up? Glad you're here. Cold Blood Sensei says, having prices for games from keys rather than what Google's asking is a big plus. It is a big plus, but we're going to get into it. I use this reference all the time. If you say MM2K, I got a big date. This date means everything to me. But I'm new in town. Tell me where I should go to go take this person so I can impress them and get some good food. Get some decent food. And I'm thinking to him, I got one or two options. I say, I can tell him to go to Ruth Chris Steakhouse, but it's a little bit more expensive. You know what I'm saying? But he really wants to impress him there. Or maybe she's an eater. Maybe she just likes eating a whole bunch of food. So I'm going to send him over to Golden Corral. And for those of you that don't know, Ruth Chris Steakhouse is an elite steak place. You know what I'm saying? You're paying $50 to $100 a plate for steak, or you can go to Golden Corral, which is a buffet chain here in the States, where you get 30 samples of different dishes that all taste like refried cauliflower. All right. So I'm sitting there saying, well, I'm listening to the ads and I'm like, oh, Golden Corral got 60 dishes of this and that. And I say, oh, you need to take her to Golden Corral. So then they go eat there and they come back and he looks sick and pale. And I'm like, what's going on, brother? And he's like, how could you do that to me? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I was told you I was serious. I'm trying to impress this woman. I want her to be my future wife. And you sent us to the establishment where they got 50 variations of everything that tastes like refried cauliflower? I thought we were friends. And that's my point. What I'm trying to say, y'all, is that it depends on what you want. If you want cheap and plentiful, then yeah. Go get into that Nividia Geforce right now. But if you want tried and true performance that excels no matter where you play, then go with Stadia, and you might have to put a little bit of extra coin into it than you would there. But you won't get what I got trying to play one of my favorite games, Fallout 76, don't judge me. Man, I got excited, booted it up, and what did it look like? It looked like Minecraft 76. Everything isn't consistent on the Nvidia Geforce now. Right now is not the time to be putting all your chips into that. It's a great supplement service. I'm going to get into that. Big up to Ashes to Ashes. He says, what's the part I hate personally at Cole? I want a simple button push in the game. Not to have to mess with monthly. Yes! That is the biggest problem with this service. Again, I'm not trying to say that it's horrible, but the big problem with even trying to put it on the same stage as with Stadia is that cloud gaming is about convenience at core. That's the point. You're not lugging around dedicated devices. You ain't got to worry about cables. It's about convenience. How convenient is it that when I load up a cloud service game, I got to wait 17 minutes for an update? And y'all saw me on Twitter. I'm not lying. 17 minutes. And then it's not working properly because every time I would boot out of the game and boot back in, I'd have to do the same update again for another 9 to 15 to 17 minutes. So at the core, it's not fully functional to represent cloud gaming at its best. And that's my point in all this, is not to just say all these things are worthless. I'm not saying even Xcloud, even though that's trash, it's not worthless because it's going to get inherently better. All right? What I'm saying, people, is that despite all that, we need cloud gaming to be represented in its best light because people are trying to kill the prospects of it. They just are. They don't like the audacity of cloud gaming. They want to see it dead. So because they want to see it dead, we have to represent it properly. And we want it seen in its best light. I don't want someone to sit there and I don't want the puke pundits and the goofballs over at Digital Foundry acting like Xcloud is a perfect system. I don't want the goofballs at certain Windows wood buffing publications to sit there and act like Xcloud is the perfect system. Then when someone says, ooh, that's the remedy to my traveling woes, and I get 50 free games, let me go pick that up. And out of those 50 free games, only 7 of them work consistently. How are you doing the unsuspecting gamer any justice? You're not. You're not. So that's why words matter. And what we need to understand is in the advent of social media, that these puke pundits, these critics, these YouTubers, they don't care about you. They care about your clicks. They will lie and lie and lie. And then when you bust them and expose them, they will deny. So it's up to you to make sure that you're based in the truth and you're where? In a place of knowledge. I put the video out there. Every time someone says something foolish, I respond. We put the quotes out there. It all depends on you. After that, I can't do any further. Do you want to follow the idiot herd or not? Period. On with the show. Big ups to everybody in the chat, doing it up. Fantastic conversations. I love it. Here's the deal, y'all. Let me do this like Brutus. All right. Click on this. I'm going to get to that last, though. All right, we got a couple things going. On here. This is going to be a great show, man. I feel good. And you know why I feel good? Because that conversation in that DM reinvigorated me. Because when they come at me like that lets me know that they're scared. They're concerned. They're worried. They were sitting there using old rhetoric. People are falling off numbers. They're still using Destiny rhetoric. Now, don't get me wrong. I sat here with Duncan. We talked about that people are, upset. There has been some abandonment rates, but there isn't. But the enthusiasm, the comeback of the community, like now they're stepping on people's necks. They're not letting people just do the ridiculous videos and say the ridiculous things that they used to. I can understand back then y'all talking about it's dead, but now with the positive press, and the fight back that's now in the community, like every comment where I see Stadia is dead, I see somebody following it. How is it dead? Because of blah, blah, blah. Now I see kickback. So that proves to me that they're scared. And particularly Xcloud. Xbox is in the discussion, but the Xcloud product isn't. Nividia Force came in and said, excuse me, and pushed the mugs off the cliff. Get out of here. You're not serious enough. But let's talk about Nividia Geforce. So here's something that let me do it this way. Can y'all see that? Let me see if y'all can see that. Hold on. Whoa. Okay, can y'all see that? Yes, y'all can. Okay, that is a tweet from me in regards to Nividia Geforce, because I've been a beta tester for this thing for a few years. Okay. And in the advent of me being a beta tester for Nividia Geforce, I said that I originally believed. Now, I became a beta tester for Nividia Geforce. I tried Projekt Stream, and at the time, my experience with Nividia Geforce was better than Projekt Stream. Even though, and for those of you that were part of Projekt Stream's beta, y'all know how good Projekt Stream was. So I said, wow. And then the only thing they gave me on Projekt Stream to play was, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, my favorite game of that year. But still, I had a multitude of games to play via Nividia Geforce, and I was playing it all the time. Okay? I said, nothing gets better than this. There's no way. Even when Stadia comes out, I'll use Stadia to play on my phone. I don't mind paying an extra $10 a month. It's not going to kill me. It's not going to cripple me. I'm going to use Stadia, and I might not even have to pay it the $10, because if I'm just playing on my phone, all I want is the 1080 60 mode anyway. So yeah, I'll double dip for the game. I'll double dip for it. And it's going to, I'll double dip. Okay. That being said, that was the only use Stadia was going to be in my house until I got it in my hands. Okay. And then it blew all my expectations. It blew my mind. I could not believe it. All right. So then Nividia Geforce comes out, right? And let me back up a little bit. The reason why I wanted to use Stadia on my phone is because even when I thought Geforce was the best, I had issues with it on the go. It was still working over the telephone network. It was still the best performing one over the telephone before I got Stadia in my hand, but it still wasn't consistent enough for serious gaming, is what I'm trying to say. And because it wasn't that serious for consistent gaming, I was like, okay, there has to be another option, and I'll double dip for certain games when I get Stadia. Come to find out, Stadia just took away my need for Nividia Geforce altogether. That being said, I signed up for the top tier when it released, because everybody was like, Stadia's dead, it's the killer, it's man's murder. There's so many. Hey, look, Stadia must be the the indoctrinated feline of cloud gaming, because this thing has more lives than Heathcliff and Garfield put together. I've never seen so many things that were supposed to kill this that were disproven. But I still signed up for the retail version of Nividia, and it was a steal. It was a steal. There's two versions. The one version is the free version, where you get it for, you get it for free, and then it allows you to connect to your games that you may have on supported clients. And and every game isn't supported. There's a lot of games that aren't supported, but PC games there's just a massive amount of them. So that's understandable. But the games that are supported, it allows you to stream them to your device or stream them to your PC via their PC client. So let's just go over it, and let's go over the textbook things of what Nividia Geforce is. It's an online service that allows you to play a number of PC games. And how does it work? You may ask. Well, you're given a virtual gaming PC. You install games you already have purchased in the cloud in that virtual PC. The games are then streamed to your supported device via an app or their PC streaming client. What are the caveats? Let's get into the caveats. So after I signed up for the service, here goes the first thing I had to say. I think people missed some key verbiage. It appears that the $4.99 is only the introductory price for the founders for 12 months. Still a great rollout price, but don't be surprised when this price goes up. If you read the verbiage, it's letting you know that the first 90 days that you sign up, once this thing is launched, it's going to be free. After those 90 days, you have to pay a price. But that price may not necessarily be $5. Because if you don't get into this now, that price may be its full retail price that they plan on for the future. Some people say 10, I believe 15. There were some valuable sources that have told me that this thing was looking to be $14.99. Some people that I know in the know. So, with that being said, if you don't sign up for this thing now and take advantage of not only the free 90 days and the 12-month founders rate, if you do sign up later, you may have to pay full retail per month. And that full retail is looking to be $10 or $14.99. So please be cognizant of that. So that was tweet number 1 that I sent out. That's before I got into the kit and caboodle. Here goes tweet number 2. This is when I was like, oh, they're bloviating. They're bloviating. They're talking garbage. Let me increase that for y'all that can't see that. Oh, what? Oh, we getting ahead of ourselves. We getting ahead of ourselves. Let me see. Can I? Okay, there we go. All right. This is a 3-part tweet. 1 of 3. Might have to wait because I was looking to do a comparison video of Destiny or Ghost Recon, both of those games, via GeForce Now versus Stadia. Here's the problems that I ran into. Number 1, Stadia browser footage is degraded. Here's what I was going to use. I was going to compare the performance of Stadia on the web browser and the performance via the CCU, the Chromecast Ultra versus GFN via the client. That's all I was doing. I wasn't doing no phone stuff yet. So I said it has to be delayed because the browser footage is degraded by slobs, by Streamlabs OBS. Meaning, because it's a web browser and it's not in a window, Streamlabs OBS cannot record it directly from that feed. So I have to do something called a display feed, and people that are familiar with using these streaming applications know that a display feed is the least, favorable way to capture video. It really degrades the video, the performance, all that stuff. Now with the Stadia CCU, it's degraded because it has, I think the term is a DHCP blocker. I could be wrong. It could be called something else, where it blocks you from being able to record footage from it. Everything turns black once the device notices that you're trying to record from it. So in order to strip that away, you got to put that through an HDMI splitter. Well, the problem is when you put it through an HDMI splitter, it degrades the video quality. Everything was real dark. I tried fixing it, couldn't get it to work, so I couldn't do that. And then in the video, Geforce output was giving me some screen tears. Not a lot, but it was giving me some screen tears nonetheless. And even though the performance that I could see with my naked eye was better from Stadia, I wasn't going to sit there and put the video out there like that. And people say, oh, it's screen tearing. See the video. No, we're going to be fair. Everything on the even kill. If I can't do it on the even kill, I'm not doing it. I'll just give you my verbatim of what's going on. So those were the three things that prevented me from putting out the footage right now. But I'm still exploring options. If you want to help me out, because some of these options are expensive. You want to help me out? As Nightbot drops something in the chat, you can help tip the channel or whatever. But I'm not e-begging. I'm just putting it out there, letting you know why my girl Nightbot is out there. All right. With that being said, we're exploring options to make sure that we can do this for you guys. That said, the second part of my tweet reads: GFN client looks damn good when you crank everything up to 1920 times 1200 and turn on VSync. It actually looks better than Stadia in the browser in various titles when you do that. However, it doesn't compare to the CCU. CCU is still the best option, and it outdoes even the client, even though the CCU is only outputting in 1080p for when I was doing Destiny. Okay. And here's the thing. Here's one thing about that. Third part of my tweet is, considering that everything was cranked to ultra, meaning I went into not only did I go into the settings of Nividia and crank everything up, maximum bitrate per second, just everything was cranked up, put it to 1920 by 1200, cranked up the resolution. But you also have the option to go into each individual game and crank up the settings there. I cranked everything up to ultra, right? Because I'm in the free option that it gives me all this allocated cloud space, this virtual RAM, so I can crank it up. So I cranked everything up. And considering that everything was cranked up to ultra, it barely surpasses games on the browser. It barely looks better than games on the Stadia browser, even though I cranked everything up. What are they going to do when Stadia 4K browser mode comes out? Message. Considering that, load times in the quote-unquote game sessions, I don't think this jumps to Stadia's level just yet, even with all of those games. Let me go to my chat, see what they got to say about that. Something like this, control. All right. 706 Gamer Troll, and he says Stadia's dead. Hey, y'all, give a round of applause to 706 Gamer, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to pump life into Stadia when it was on life support. Remember when those publications, Destiny 2 is now on Xcloud. Therefore, Xcloud has rendered Stadia dead. That was your boy 706 Gamer that helped me do that. He put me onto the application to help me prove otherwise. And I'm about to do the same thing with Nividia. I will have the phone footage next week. You know what I'm saying? But this week I wanted to focus on the client. But 706 Gamer says, what did he say? He says, Stadia is dead. Stadia Talk. What is up, Stadia Dosage? Wanted to stop by. Hey, appreciate you. And for a quick bumper, the word loses me right now, or a shameless plug even on my own stuff. I will be joining my friend Chase on Stadia Talk tomorrow, 9 a.m. Chase Eastern Standard. Let me know if that's right. 9 a.m. Eastern Standard tomorrow. We're gonna get together and sort out all the everything and get ready for you guys tomorrow. So definitely put that on your calendar. Mark that in your phones. Click on Stadia Talk right now. Go to his channel, Subscribe to it. Rock those bells for notifications. So not only do you catch that, but you catch all of his content. Fantastic. Duncan can attest to it. And you can also catch Chase too. We're going to do the 24-hour Stadia stream for Stadia Super Saturday. I think Chase is participating as well too. So what we're doing is a bunch of dead Stadia content creators. We're all getting together. We're coming from the graves. We're going to do a pet cemetery. We're going to do a digital pet cemetery. Come from the grave, right? With our flesh and bones hanging. And we're going to stream 24 hours of Stadia content. Everybody's picking slots. I'm picking the slot from 9 a.m. Eastern to 11 a.m. Eastern. Me and my son, who he loves Borderlands right now. And my son, look, he's my biggest critic. He's the first one who'll call me up, Dad, your video was trash. And I love him for it because I'm the same way with him. You know what I'm saying? So, Dad, you're embarrassing me. I used to tell my friends that you was my father. Now I gotta stop because you capping for Stadia, right? This is what he would call me and tell me. So for Christmas, I got him a buddy pass. Homie has not put down his Stadia since he got that buddy pass because he loves Borderlands and he's playing Borderlands all the time. So I'm gonna get with him. We're going to do Borderlands stream together, some crazy mayhem, and it's going to help keep me tempered because I have a potty mouth, y'all, when I'm playing games. And with my son being there, it's going to help keep me tempered for those 2 hours. So join us 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Super Saturday. Duncan, can y'all do me a favor and drop a link to it? I got so many screens here and I'm discombobulated. Drop a link to Super Saturday here, so for those that are interested, they can definitely partake upon that because that's going to be fantastic. February 15th, y'all. Check us out for 24 hours. Okay, so that being said, what else we got here? Cold Blood. We got Cold Blood says that Xcloud is the past, 720 is the PlayStation 3. Facts. Look, that's why Phil came out there and said, "Yo, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I love my 706 gamers. I love my D-Batches. I love my Tim Dogs. I even love my Dirt Griggities. I love them fighting a good fight. But I got the statistics and I got the information here, baby, on the table in the boardroom. And we know what Google's up to. They think they're slick. When they drop them games and they release that bass, boom, 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 it's over for us. If we don't get our stuff together. Because Nividia slid in there and said, excuse me, but it's like that Biggie Songs video, Big Papa, when he gave the big face palm to Busta Rhymes. That's what Nividia did. They came in, excuse me, and pushed Xcloud out of the way. Now nobody wants to talk about what Xcloud can do. Now everybody's jumping on the Nividia bandwagon because we disprove Xcloud is a killer of anything right now. They still upset over the comparison video. I still get people call me up. Why you do that, man? Why? What did Phil ever do to you, man? Did you just ask Phil for a limbo shirt too, man? You can get one of them tight limbo shirts. Man, why do you do that to Phil? Why? I still get people commenting on that video. And I say, don't blame me. Blame the truth. That's it. Let me continue on. Thank you, Duncan, for dropping that Super Saturday Stadia. Y'all get to see Pet Cemetery live on air. 12 different dead content creators. We come up from the grave with our bones hanging and our skulls sunken, and we go play Stadia for 20. It's going to be a great time, man. You're going to see. I think we're going to do the 40 car great races, which is exclusive to Stadia. Yeah, y'all didn't know that. So definitely check us out and tune in for that. All right. Trizzle Rector, what's up? Big up to Trizzle Rector. All right. Said 0 games for me. I did sign up. It needs to improve for me to keep with it. Absolutely. And I think you're talking about Nividia Geforce. Patty X91X says, oh my God, watch your blood pressure, mate. This is how I talk. You ain't seen my movies? Deep Blue Sea, A shark ate me. No. This is how I talk. I'm sorry. But I'm excited. See, Patty, you missed. Before I got on the air, I was kind of melancholy. This was going to be me playing my clarinet episode today. And then I got reinvigorated right before I went live. I'm in a DM with a whole bunch of console warlords, dedicated device fools, and Stadia dead. And I'm like, hold on, based upon what? And they're pulling out old articles from 1952. And I'm like, they're scared. They're scared. And I got excited. I'm sorry. All right, with that being said, let's go on to my next tweet. So those of you might be saying, MM2K, you're full of crap. My homie 706 Gamer told me, they got Uplay Plus. You're in danger, right? This is what you're getting. Y'all see that? Oh my God. Can y'all see that? Let me see if y'all can see that. I'm making sure. Let me go back to my... Yeah, y'all can see that. Let me go to chat real quick. Chat. Big up Most. What's up? At Shaker Cap, who said that? Young Ye doesn't make it true. Thank you. Hey, Patty, thank you. Hey, look. I keep telling these people. I love y'all like kids that I've never seen. I keep telling these people, Patty. These YouTube content creators, they don't care about you. They care about your clicks. They're still using old articles that we debunked back in November. They want clicks. It's a slow news cycle for them. On the prospect of the carnivorous virus delaying next-gen hardware, we within the cloud network, the cloud kings, we ain't got to worry about that. Why? Because we ain't got no hardware. And they're sick about it. They're sick to their stomach. And they hate the audacity of entities like Stadia that dare not have a dedicated solution. But we're going to get into that too. But look at it. You turn lemons into lemonade. And God bless the people out there that are dealing with the virus. I'm not making light of that at all. I wish everybody the best of luck. I hope no one else expires from this virus. It's a real deal. I hope I wish everybody the best that is confronted with having to deal with it. But as a business, you look at everything from 5,000 feet, and when you look at everything from totality, you got to see as a content provider for video games and stuff like that the less embedded that you are in manufacturing, the less likely you're impacted from this. It's just a given. And they realize that. And they're sick to their stomach, I can tell you. They're sick to their stomach. On to the show. You see this? This is what 706 Gamer, I'm going to throw you under the bus. You dare come to my chat and say Stadia is dead. This is what 706 Gamer said. Now I'm going to start to calm down and just give y'all the cold hard facts. This is what 706 Gamer said was going to kill Stadia. This is what he said was going to kill Stadia. Let me read you the tweet. 1 out of 2. After seeing Destiny 2 look impressive on my PC client, I was excited when I sideloaded Geforce Now on my FireCube TV and cranked up the settings. This was the result. Minecraft 76. Now, mind you, I have Stadia sideloaded on the same device. Flawless. Mwah, perfectimo. It's flawless. This is what I got. Look at this, I can't get jiggy with this ish. Look at this. This is supposed to be Fallout 76. What is this? What? What is it? I know I said I was going to calm down, but the proof is in the pudding. People want to lie. And I just can't believe that they would lie like the internet don't exist. Like we can't put proof out there. Secondly, 2 of 2, my final verdict for no. Before I go there, I don't even want to go there yet. Let me see if I can find my other tweet. Okay. I think I jumped ahead of myself real quick because I wanted y'all to see something else. Okay, no, I'm out of order a little bit. Oh no, I didn't show y'all my. Okay, so for those of you that may not be familiar, here I'm gonna do this real quick. It's only gonna take me a second, y'all. It's only gonna take your boy a second. Let me go to my Twitter page because I want y'all to see this. Because I'm not lying. I'm not, I ain't got a lot of kicking. I'm not one of those content creators. If I was one of those content creators, trust me, I'd have 1,000 followers because I was sitting there lying to you, telling you that one's all glorious and this and that and all this other stuff. And I'm not going to do that because if I'm going to sit here and lie, then what separates me from everybody else? Let me see if I can find this real quick. Because I was having some problems, y'all, dealing with Nividia. I'm getting closer. Hold on. And I thought I put this in my... So many tweets. Damn, I tweet too damn much. I tweet too damn much. Jeez Louise. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. All right. Let me pull this over here. I was trying to, here's what I was trying to do, y'all. Y'all see this in the background? Look at this. Look at this. Y'all see that right there? That was my third time going into the Uplay Plus that Noah thinks exists on the video. It's not Uplay Plus. It's just that if you have a Uplay Plus subscription and the game is supported via Nividia Geforce, then you access the game there. It just common sense. But Nividia Geforce does not support every game in Uplay Plus. But even if it did, it doesn't matter because here, look at this. When I opened the game, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, because I was going to do a comparison, look what I got. 11.3 gigabyte download. Now, it ended up speeding up a little bit to where it only took me 17 minutes, but I had to do this every time I loaded up the game. A 17-minute wait for a cloud experience, and I put 3 up there. See my chunky fat fingers? I put 3 up there to represent so people wouldn't think that I was making this up. Oh, you're reusing the same post MM2K because I put 2 others out there to show that this was the third time I had went through this in literally 30 minutes. How was that the Stadia killer? Patty 91 X says, to be honest, Fallout 76 is trash. It would also be trash on Stadia. No, it's just Fallout 76 is a good game. It's a good game. Is it the best game? No, but it's a good game. With that being said, regardless of what you think of the game performance, not the game performance, what you think about the game style, on PC, the game looks pretty damn good. Especially if you could crank I have a $1,300 PC, I have a 2070 card. I can't even crank everything up on Fallout 76. So imagine I'm cranking up everything up on Fallout, and that's what I got. That's what I'm saying. I am stating it has downloads. Look at that. Look at this. What? Like, come on. When are we going to start being bashed and rooted in reality? So with that being said, I did that, okay, just to show y'all that point. And then I said my final verdict for the moment is if you crank GFN all the way on the PC client and your machine can handle that, very important point, then it's comparable to Stadia performance on a number of titles. Outside of the PC client, and then you throw in the sessions thing, it's not a swappable competitor for hardcore game streaming. It's just not. So here's basically what I'm saying in a nutshell, is that Nividia Geforce has its purpose. Will it suit the needs of various gamers? Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think it has a lot of needs that it will suit for gamers. Absolutely. But is it something that competes directly with Stadia, not at this juncture. Even with the games, because it's like the scenario that I gave you before. If you are a die-hard gamer and you want top-of-the-notch fidelity gaming at a fraction of the price, you may be looking at Nividia Geforce now, but it's not a feasible alternative because it doesn't, number one, it doesn't interrupt your game sessions, and number two, even though you get a bunch of games, it's like the Golden Corral. You get a bunch of stuff that tastes like refried cauliflower, and you get what you pay for. So if you want quality right now, I get that PC games are cheaper, but nobody's talking about that on console. And then I heard somebody say, well, you don't have options to look outside of the Google store to get games. That's not true. You can go to different vendors like CD Keys and get Google store credit at a discount. Convert that into credit and buy your Stadia games from that. That's how I got Rage 2 for $11. I went to a couple of key sites. I got a $5 card and a $6 card that equaled $20 in Google credit. Plopped it in my account. Rage 2 was on sale for $19.88. Bada boom, bada bing, it was mine. The rest is history. So you have options, but no, you get the most options with PC. I get that. And in a perfect world, this would give you access to PC games without you having to have a PC client. I mean, without you having to have a hardcore PC and get great fidelity. And it's just not there. It's just not there. And to bring home my point, here goes something that I want to show you guys. This is a presentation that I made, and you may have seen it if you saw one of my previous videos. It talks about cloud gaming, GeForce Now versus Stadia. And what I went over in the video is the pros and cons of both platforms and determine what is the best for who. Because I'm not going to be one of those people to tell you because Nividia GeForce ain't as good as Stadia in some key aspects, it's not good at all. I'm not gonna, that would be like me telling you that Pepsi don't sell as much as Coca-Cola globally, so don't ever drink a Pepsi product. That's foolish. That's foolish. So with that being said, let's look at the Nvidia GeForce Now. Here's the rating system. I broke it down into 7 elements. Service cost, how much does service cost? Cost of games, max performance, cost, meaning in order for you to get the best out of what the platform this is derived from offers, how much do you have to pay? The library, the performance, like how well is the performance, the flexibility, what can it perform reliably on, what can it perform on, the dependability, and then the overall rating. Let's start with GeForce Now. I give the service cost a 4.5. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat it. $5, and then you ain't got to pay the $5 up front. Boom, not bad. Cost of games, 4 out of 5. These are PC games. PC games, you have the most wide variety of options than anybody there, 4 out of 5. Max performance cost, though. Like I said, when you match this up against the CCU and the Stadia web browser, I'm cranking everything up to ultra. I'm like, hold up, what the hell? This is barely beating the browser. What's going on here? And then it's ghosting, and I'm getting, it's pixelation like I showed you. Like, what's the deal? Well, if you want to get better, guess what you got to do, baby? Number one, you got to get a PC. If you want the best performance that is provided from the platform that Nvidia GeForce comes from, you got to get a PC. If you want it to perform better, you got to get a PC. You got to get a PC. And that defeats the whole purpose of the cloud gaming, making things affordable and flexible. If you got to get a PC. Secondly, as I said earlier, do not think that this thing is going to stay $5. You need a CAT scan if you're in that belief system. It's clear as day. Introductory price, $5 for founders for 12 months. Then after that, you're going to get that regular price. And that regular price iStream is $9.99 or $14.99. You compare that to Stadia, to where you still get consistent 1080p 60 gaming on a browser that still looks hella good. Great fidelity. You can get that for free along with the purchase of the game. Here, you got to purchase the game and you got to pay that $14.99, or if that still ain't doing it, you got to get a PC. Library. Library is 4 out of 5. You can't beat that. It's a PC library. Performance. 3.5 out of 5. PC client is okay. Everywhere else, yeah. That's all, folks. Flexibility. I'll give, the fact that it is available on different platforms, I give it a 4 out of 5. Dependability? Yeah. Dependability? Yeah, that's all, folks. Dependability? No. Overall, 3.4 out of 5. Now let's go on to Stadia. The service cost, $10 a month. It's not bad. That's not bad. Or free when the free option comes up, but we're going to go on about what's available now. $10 a month. Cost of games, 3.5 out of 5. It's not the greatest, but it's not horrible for the simple fact that, like I said, it's not like these games are more expensive than their console counterparts. Is it as diverse in the pricing as PC is? No. But like I said, go on the lookout. Go to CD Keys. Get Google points. Wherever you can get Google points, add them to your account and use those to buy your games. I have never used cash to buy my games. Everything is based off of Google points, and I've always got some type of discount, whether it was 5%, 8%, or the 50% deal that I got that one time during the holiday season. So right now you can go look for deals and load up your account right now. I highly suggest it. CD Keys has some stuff. Go look at Green Man Gaming. Go look on a whole bunch of places and load up on some Google points or Google Play credit. You can use Google Play credit again to buy games. The max performance cost. This is where we get into the nitty gritty. Opposed to if I want the max performance, all I got to pay is $10 and I get 4K. I get 4K at $10? That's all I got to pay is $10 for 4K. If I want 4K from the platform that Nividia Geforce is derived from, I got to do what again, people? I got to buy a PC. Library. Hey, look, man, we can't lie about that. We can't cap about that. This is when my son calls me and says Stadia is trash before he got that Borderlands 3 experience on it. Library's trash. 2.5 out of 5. It would have been lower, but the games, at least that they do have out there, are heavy hitters, some of the biggest heavy hitters in the last 12 months. Ain't no denying that. You know what I'm saying? But it is trash. No denying that. Performance is the best out there. 4.5 out of 5. Flexibility. The flexibility is cool too. It's not on a whole bunch of stuff, but you can side load it on pretty much everything. And everything that I've side loaded it on, mwah, perfect. But I didn't want to give it too much of a boost because it's not the quote-unquote supported stuff. And dependability, 4.5 out of 5. You don't get this. You don't get this. I've never gotten this. I've never gotten this from Stadia. Never. All right. So, conclusion is, I'm not going to say that Stadia is not worth it. I'm not going to say that Nividia Geforce is not worth it. That's false. That would be false. Well, let me go to the chat real quick. Cold Blood asks, you can play GTA 5 on Nividia GFM? I think you can. But again, how dependable is it? I haven't tried it out. Do I even have? I don't even know if I have it. Do I have it on PC? I might have it on PC. Chariot Man Gaming, yes. MM2K Stadia, yes, that is right. You catch me on nothing but Borderlands, baby. I'll do some Ghost Week on Breakpoint. I'll do some here and there, but that Borderlands has captured my soul. Ellison 9193 says, wait, run that back. How do I get the Google Play credits? What you do, my friend, is go to CD Keys. There was a website that I was looking at. There's one, it's Marion something. If I find it, hey, look, here, let me do this. DM me. I'm MM2K on Twitter. DM me. I'm going to find you the website. They give Google Play points at 50% off. I was like, I thought it was a scam. So what I did is I went and got this card, right? I went and got one of them burner cards that you could put money on, you know, them Visa cards. I put money on it, ordered the card, it came in the mail. And it gave me points 50% off. I just tried a $5 and a $6 card at first to give it a shot and it worked. So there's a whole bunch of, if you DM me at MM2K, I'm at MM2K, I got an open door policy, I don't shy from anybody, you know what I'm saying, I'm all about discussions. DM me, I'm gonna find that site, it's Marion something, I forgot. But I can show you that, or you can go to CD Keys, you go anywhere and get Google Play credit. You know, with the Google Play Store symbol on it, you can load your account up with those and buy games with that. I do it all the time. All the time. That's the beauty of Stadia. It takes Google Play credit. And I've signed up for the Google Point program. Look that up. There's a program where if you do so many purchases, they give you credit and you can redeem those. You get points and you can redeem those points for credit too. So there are options. And you know what? Google should be more vocal about it. But again, I'm not saying everything is perfect on the platform. The Purpose Time says CD Keys used to have almost half price on brand new games. It had crazy discounts. It's not the same these days. Absolutely. Zero Games for me said Guilt is a good game. All right. So the conclusion is, y'all, I'm not going to be the Young Yays, the Dreamcast guys. And I know people get mad at me when I call out names, but we're going to expose the liars and we're going to expose the clickbaiters here. And I tell my Stadium brethren, you ain't got to do what I do. You ain't got to do what I do. Hold on one second. Sorry about that, y'all. Y'all ain't got to do what I do. See, what I do is, look, I've been in the Fight Club, y'all. I got raised up in the Fight Club here on the YouTube game, right? You know, first I came in with my clarinet. I was like old boy off of Fight Club. I came in with my clarinet and they smacked it out my hand and threw me in the mosh pit and I had to fight for my life, right? So this is elementary for me. And sometimes it's neat. I know people look at it and they say, oh, that's despicable, it's disgusting. And a lot of times there's not a lot of fact, just points of view, just catchy points of view being thrown out there. It's not embedded in fact. But you know what? There are too many people. I feel compelled to fight for the unsuspecting gamer. Why do I feel compelled? Because I was once the unsuspecting gamer. I told y'all my horror stories at Best Buy. When it came to tech and stuff like that, I've told y'all them horror stories. And every time I see somebody lying about something so they get more clicks, I could sit back and say, you know what, let it go. They're just doing their thing. But then I got to think about the 5, 10, 15, 25, 100, 1,000 people that may have wanted something, but think they were listening to a trusted source that were led astray and they weren't given their opportunity to have their best gaming ever. If it wasn't for my brother, I wouldn't have experienced some of the things that I've experienced in gaming because my brother's real knowledgeable about tech and stuff like that. He used to be VP for a major internet company locally. And when he would tell me things that I've heard from, he would like, nah, man, don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. And because of him, I got to go back and and spread the truth to retailers that were telling me a bunch of bibble babble. And I had some of my best gaming experiences, particularly in the 360 era, that I wouldn't have even experienced. I probably wouldn't even be here if I didn't have my brother to rebut a lot of the garbage that I was being told. I probably would, because I had stepped away from gaming for a while. And my brother showed me how good gaming had became again. So I think about those people in the back of my mind when I hear these lies. And I get it. My brothers, that are the Stadia haters, they love posting stuff about Stadia to see me react. And they think that I'm just doing it off of impulse. But no, I'm just sharpening my steel, baby. Every time y'all put an anti-Stadia article in the DM or throw it at me, I'm sharpening my steel. I'm making sure that I'm up against that false rhetoric. I'm up on my information, right? Because I'm going to combat you and see what you got. To say, I wasn't aware of that. Let me go back to work. It's important not because it's exciting to just argue with other grown men. No, that's not it. It's because somebody has to fight for the unsuspecting gamer. Somebody has to do it. I got told so many times that things didn't exist. My brother mentioned, you could do that. And I would go to people that were supposed to be trusted voices in the retail world, or people that were supposed to be quote unquote experts. And they would tell me that it doesn't exist. And if I didn't have my brother to have my back, like I said, I probably wouldn't even be here. Because I probably would have just abandoned gaming again and said, it ain't worth it. What you told me wasn't true. But I had some of my best gaming years during that era. And that was because somebody stood up for the truth for me. So I'm here trying to stand up for the truth for y'all. So I don't mind. Every time they throw that stuff out there in the DM, I don't mind swatting it back down. Because they think it's like, look at the doggy. The doggy gonna go after the boat. No, you're making my skills sharper, because when bass drops, when it drops, can you imagine? I'm gonna tell y'all right now, get cotton for your ears. Y'all might want to just read the transcripts, because if y'all think I'm loud now, I'm calling out everybody. Ain't nobody safe, friend or foe. When that bass drops, when the stuff that Phil knows that he's looking at in the boardroom, when it drops for Stadia, and the stuff that made him get out here and admit that he's worried about them, that's what keeps him up at night. When that stuff drops, everybody's in danger. Nobody's safe. Because they were out here spreading lies and mistruths at the discernment of the unsuspecting gamer. And I don't stand for that. Now, back to the program. Here's why I say that Geforce Nividia has some value to a slice of the pie. Because I don't like it ain't the tell-all be-all. I'm not the tell-all be-all. Like, we just went through an example. I like Fallout 76. Most of y'all probably hated it. Even though most of y'all probably never even tried it. But most of y'all probably even hate the idea of it. That's okay. Diversity of thought. It's okay. It's what helps make technology and gaming grow. So I'm not going to sit here and lie that GFN has no use. I would tell somebody, if they have to make a choice between GFN or Stadia in relation to what they want from cloud gaming, I would tell people to go with GFN in some scenarios. Here are the scenarios. You have a large PC library. In addition to that, you want cheap PC games. You want cheap games, and you know that you can get them from PC. And in addition to those things, you are not looking for consistent performance with the library available. Meaning, you do not desire or simply cannot cloud game for long periods of time. So in layman's terms, you're interested in cloud gaming. You want to be able to do it, here and there in spotty occasions. Excuse me, but cloud gaming is not something that you look to be doing long term throughout your gaming days. You want to just game on the go. When I'm over at my cousin's house and, oh man, they sitting there watching Oprah and stuff, and I don't want to see that stuff. I'm out at the mall with my wife, and I just want to tinker around with some games. You know what I'm saying? Then go with GF. And if in addition to that, you already have a large library of games, on PC, and you are wholeheartedly behind getting cheap PC games, then GFN is for you. It's for you. There's no denying it. It's for you. But here's where you'll want to go with Stadia. If you want high fidelity gaming at a cheap entry, this is whether it's cloud gaming or not. If you want high fidelity gaming with a cheap entry point, I meant to put there. Meaning you want 4K gaming, but you don't want to pay $500 to $400 for it. And you have good internet. And there ain't no cap on that internet included in that. And you want uninterrupted gaming with this cheap entry point with your good internet and the gaming over the cloud that you've selected, and you don't want to be interrupted. You don't want to be in that big Destiny, what do they call it? You don't want to be in a Destiny 2 raid, and that your people need you. You can't drop from this. And y'all about to defeat the raid, and then all of a sudden, you have 2 minutes left, Charlie. Pops up on the screen. No! If that's something that you don't want to deal with, along with wanting the best cloud gaming performance for no more than $10 a month long term, because believe you me, that Nividia is not staying $5. It's going to 10, 15, I believe, maybe even 20. We don't know. But if that's what you're looking for, and it ain't got to just be cloud gaming, if you just happen to have great internet, no caps, and you want to do this, because look, this is what people got to realize. What are the best-selling consoles out there? Or what are the biggest SKUs out there? There's 5. Number 1 and number 2 are the original PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Slim. 3 and 4 are the Xbox One Fat and the Xbox One S. Well, I'm sorry, I got a throw up above there too. Number 3 is actually the Switch. And then 4 and 5 are the Xbox versions. 6 and 7 are the PlayStation 4 Pro, and the Xbox One X is number 7. Maybe at 8 is the sad edition, because it just came out. But I bet you the sad edition before the X gets shut down rises above. Why? Because they're the cheapest. And you're telling me that a system at $130 that's still cheaper than the majority of consoles out there that can perform up to par with the top consoles, that isn't a lure to people? Stop it. Because there's a well-known figure that was a naysayer before so, but now is turned around and seen the light and has repeated exactly what I'm saying now. We'll get into that. So, with that said, let me go to the chat before I continue on. Well, no, before I do that, again, another shameless plug. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining this presentation. You can check out MM2K on Twitch at the Hard Knock Digital Culture, twitch.tv Mighty Most 2000, which I will be directly after this. Mind you, PNTS Network, Scram Punks, Stadia, Dosage, PNTSnetwork.com. Thank you very much. And with the Broadband Bullies, we are the bad boys of the gaming community. Triple B, BDPP, and then the Big Gamer Small Talk, that's our older website. It's actually broadbandbullies.com. Right. Shameless plug. Shameless plug. Shameless plug. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Can we do that? There we go. All right. Now we're back all right. So that's what you're getting out of those services. And I hope everybody is fully aware what they're getting into when they're getting Nividia Geforce now. They're getting a great complimentary service to their PC library. So as long as you game majority on PC, or if you're just looking for something to supplement your time here and there, but you plan You don't care about price. You plan to stay in front of your dedicated device most of the time, which is your PC, and you don't care about price, then you're going to get the best performance out of anything than your top of the line PC, period. I want to throw game streaming in there too, though. If you don't do a lot of game streaming, then, fine. But if you do some game streaming, then you definitely want to look into Stadia as well. Because the problem is that doing 1080p 60, even if you have a high card, can be difficult in streaming it at the same time. You gotta, the video card might be overworked. But with the fact that you're streaming it, you ain't got that caveat. You can stream Stadia 1080p 60, which is the top res in most of these places, right? Particularly Twitch. And it may look better than what you can output via your computer while streaming. And I go through that all the time. I can only do 1080 48 frames per second. My homie Cold Blood, since they're raging out, if he's here in the chat, they can tell you the troubles and woes that I had. All the troubles I see. All the troubles I had trying to do 1080p 60 while streaming. I do fine when I'm playing and not streaming. But when I load up OBS, oh man, all hell breaks loose. But with that said, let me get to the chat. I Am Stadia said, cold as a pony, that's why. Cold Blood says 130 plus, you pay for the rest of the gen, then $10 a month, do the math. Okay, how is that any different from what you're paying for Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus? And like them, you get 2 free games a year. 2 free games a month. Yeah, well, let's do the math. Let's do it. The purpose time, you don't need to pay, you can just be at the 10. Exactly. You don't need to pay. And you don't have to pay anything. When base comes out, which an article just came out and said it's going to be out in a few months. When base comes out, all you pay is for the price of the game. So we got to understand how all this works. Before we start dogging things out, we got to understand how it works. All right, so let's continue and move on. Let me do this. So I have found it funny that in light of some recent articles, I still see people trying to do the Stadia dead thing. And again, it's a slow news cycle. And I still see people saying, coming to me directly, oh, get over it. Stadia is done for, right? So here's what I want y'all to see. Let's do this. I want y'all to see this because this is an article from my homie, my new best friend, Robbie Payne. Robbie Payne does an article for ChromeUnboxed.com. And the article reads, as a platform, Stadia is simply unmatched for web-based game streaming. So what Robbie talks about here in this article, excellent article, he talks about how he went to go fire up Stadia. That he didn't originally have the best experience at first, but he went to go fire Stadia back up in the advent of Nividia Geforce now coming out, and he wanted to compare the performance of them and then some other ones too. And he talked about what he did with the setup and all other stuff. And then he talked about the issues that he had with the other providers. And then he says this: Stadia has none of these issues, talking about the issues again that the other ones had that gave him problems. After hours of tinkering and trying, I finally canceled all those other cloud accounts and hung up the idea of cloud gaming outside of Stadia for now. And then I picked up my Stadia controller and fired up a quick game of Tomb Raider. Sat back and played a section of the game without a hiccup, without lag, without graphic lapses. Yes, Nividia's full of graphic lapses, and without much effort. I switched seamlessly over to my Pixelbook Go and picked up the last part of the level I was working on with similar results, and concluded that when it comes to playing fully cloud-based games, especially in a browser, Stadia does this better than anyone else. That is laughable. This just came out a few days ago. Is this not everything that MM2K and others have been saying? Right? But it wasn't just that. It wasn't just that article, because people are going to say, oh, That's Chrome unboxed. They're like Windows. They're going to be positive towards Xbox towards Stadia no matter what. And even though, like I said, they didn't give a glowing praise to Stadia at launch. He said he went back and looked at it and was like, wow. Like Google Stadia is really, it has issues, but it really is leagues ahead of everybody else. And then this is my friends at The Verge. Remember all the issues that we were having with them? They said Google Stadia's free tier is coming sometime over the next few months. And they do say, but it needed to be here like yesterday, but this used to be how they would lead their titles. And if you read this article, it's actually a great article. It's actually a very good article that comes down the middle for the most part. There's a couple of things that I would change, but it's not like the over-the-top bombastic hate of Stadia that the previous articles were. It's a fair article from what I would consider a skeptical observer. It's a really good article. I implore that everybody read this from The Verge. It's again titled Google Stadia's free tier is coming sometime over the next few months. They broke that story while everybody's like, free tier is never coming. Right? But that's not it. Y'all ready to get shocked? For those of y'all, hey look, I'm going to give y'all 3 seconds. For those of y'all that need y'all the pins, grab them now. Grab them now. Because we're about to shock the world. Hopefully you got them. Here they go. Here it goes. This came from Tom Warren himself. Now, I want y'all to understand the backdrop to this. Before I read this. Excuse me. Tom Warren led the charge as far as publications were concerned. As far as Stadia hate. He didn't understand the purpose. He didn't understand if this thing was going to live. People that just asked him simple questions, well, and then he was the one that architected the whole Destiny 2 is dropping in volume, therefore Stadia. He's the one that architected that Paul Tassi tried to use and then Windows Central tried to use and everybody else is still trying to use. And they just get slapped down like a session of volleyball every time they do it when your boy comes around. He's the architect of that. And when people were asking him questions like, well, don't you think it has something more to do with Darksiders Genesis coming out, like more fresher games that have more broad appeal coming out, that would appeal to people the same week that you pulled out those particular Destiny 2 stats? And his response was he called people names, called them Stadia apologists and all that. Like he was leading the charge as far as publications were concerned for Stadia hate. Here's what he has to say as of like a day ago. I don't understand the hate for Stadia / Xcloud, etc. Stadia is still early and the free service will be a significant step for the industry. Game streaming still has years left to mature and for many it will be a great way to play. Choices are good. Wow. 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 Hope y'all got y'all the pins. For those of y'all that been traveling with your boy MM2K, y'all know how weary Tom Warren was making us. He even blocked Stadia Dosage. He blocked us. But still, he says he does not understand the hate. And then he's focused, even though he threw Xcloud in there, he's focused on Stadia. Stadia is still early, and the free service will be a significant step for the industry. Meaning it's nowhere, again, from the Mr. Anti-Stadia himself. He has now seen the light, and he's telling you that all of you that are using the ridiculous Stadia is dead rhetoric, me as the creator of it, y'all need to stop. I have now seen the error of my ways. He's doing a Jimmy Baker and Tammy Faye Baker. Lord, I have sinned. He's turning it around. Dear Lord, I have sinned. He sees the error of his ways. And every time somebody foolishly comes up to me and still talks that Stadia is dead stuff, I'm sending them this tweet. The architect doesn't even believe you anymore. And especially if you're a part of the Xbox community, you definitely, you don't get to use that because your CEO just came out and put them on a pedestal. Stop it. You sound foolish. But that's not it. That's not it. Boom. My homie Brian Morrison too. He says he's responding to what Tom Warren said that I just read you. He says they're radical concepts compared to existing platforms and negativity sells. I've been playing Stadia since it launched, and honestly, it plays smoother than my PlayStation 4 ever did. Now that's Brian Morrison. What does Tom Warren say to that? Indeed. Ethel, I think this is the big one. What? He says, and let me highlight it for those of y'all that got half of a good eye. Indeed. I don't think it'll convert PC gamers over, of course, but console gamers will eat it up. I see y'all dropping. I see y'all leaving. Y'all mad. Look at it, they mad. But it is what it is. Truth hurts. Sorry. I don't think it'll convert PC gamers over, of course, but console gamers will eat it up. So when the architect of the Stadia hate for a major publication is now talking like this, and you have 409 likes, and I'm going to give him his 410th. When you have 410 likes in lieu of this, then that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. Now, here's what I'm saying to all that. In addition to that, to finally outline everything that I've been saying, here's this article. Oh, well, shameless plug. I did an article for broadbandbullies.com. Big ups to them. Great news site. Definitely want to check them out. Again, go to broadbandbullies.com. We have the latest news on everything. And I did an article for them last night where I talked about the protocol.com article where, they talk about, they reached out to all the big tech companies and said, hey, not the big tech companies, but the big gaming companies that are heavily in cloud gaming, and said, hey, what is your philosophy? What is your stance on cloud gaming right now? And they go deep into it. And they have a lot to say. And that's where you got the infamous quote. Well, here goes. I'm going to read you from my article. I'm going to read you the block quote from Phil Harrison. I say here in the article, in response to criticisms of Stadia early on, Phil Harrison of Google says the following. Outlining Google's plan for 2020, Harrison said that the company intends to launch a free version of Stadia soon. The big strategic difference is that over the next few months, you will be able to experience Stadia for free. Harrison said, no money down without having to put a box in your home. You could just click and play amazing games straight from the data center. He also says, as for the small library, Google says it intends to bring more than 100 additional games to the platform this year. Now, in lieu of all this, Microsoft's Phil Spencer, in lieu of Stadia's tempered approach, rest assured, Xbox is taking them very seriously. The article reflects on this from Phil Spencer. Microsoft Spencer says he doesn't consider Sony and Nintendo his main competition anymore, largely because neither of those Japanese companies own its own top-end global cloud infrastructure akin to Microsoft's Azure platform. When you talk about Nintendo and Sony, we have a ton of respect for them, but we see Amazon and Google as the main competitors going forward, Spencer said. That speaks volumes, y'all. Do y'all understand what's going on here? Do y'all understand what's going on here? That despite the haters, the clickbaiters, the people that just want to belong and follow the idiot herd, that they're not doing the same thing that they were able to successfully do in 2013 when Microsoft talked about DRM. I mean, I get people that didn't like it, but Microsoft they're the killer of babies for wanting to do this. And now every game has DRM in it damn well. And the same people that are praising, look, listen to this. This is where it doesn't make any sense. This is where people need CAT scans. And I love you all, but this is where y'all need CAT scans. The same people that are praising Nividia Geforce and saying that's the cloud gaming way forward were the same people in 2013 that said that DRM was the end of the world. But now y'all praising a platform that requires you to solely be embedded in an architecture that is based upon DRM, which is PC gaming. If there was no other platform that was heavily embedded in DRM, it would be PC gaming. So y'all went from 2013, from saying anything DRM related was the devil, to now praising it and praying to the pentagram. Y'all can't even follow your own rhetoric. It makes no sense. Y'all need to stop and think before you speak. Because I got the receipts. Many of you out there were the same people in 2013. DRM is horrible. That stuff that Microsoft was trying was horrible with DRM. DRM, ooh. And now y'all are telling people that you'd rather have them go to the DRM specific platform, which is PC. Because Nividia Geforce is it. Everything to hate on Stadia because it ain't got nothing to do with DRM. To hate on Stadia because it has the audacity to not have a dedicated solution. That's what this is all about. I told y'all earlier they were hating on it when it was Projekt Stream. When people like myself would say nothing works. Oh no. And then they exasperated all of the negative news. And don't get me wrong, launch was horrible in a lot of ways, pathetic. They went on the AMA and said they would hand deliver it. You don't do that. But in the gaming world, that was eons ago. And that same bullcrap that y'all tried in 2013, even though y'all are gobbling up DRM like there's no tomorrow now. Because your favorite piece of plastic, whether it be Gran Turismo or whatever the case may be, it's single player modes have DRM. And y'all are gobbling that up. And now y'all are telling people, y'all ain't staying consistent in y'all message. Because if y'all were staying consistent in y'all message, y'all would say Nividia Geforce sucks and Stadia sucks because of the DRM aspects of it. I don't get to fully control my content that I purchase. No. Because y'all hate Stadia for it not having a dedicated device solution, y'all are now praising DRM that y'all hated not too long ago. The absurdity of it is oozing. But here's what's really going on, people. This has all come about from our hard work. Several weeks ago, the challenge was put out there to y'all. I think it was episode 3 of this podcast, to stop hiding as it relates to Stadia. I implored everybody, I implored my fellow content creators, get the hell off of Reddit, stop hiding under y'all beds, get out of the Us caverns, like the movie Us, get out of them tunnels, stop eating rabbits and stop hiding and come out here and fight. And what did y'all do? Y'all answered the call. Y'all are more active on Twitter. Y'all are putting the clickbaiters to task. We are now posting more evidence to the contrary. This is the most important. Because here's what happens. When we put that evidence out there, they can't deny it. When I put that video out there, they can't deny it. When I put stuff like this out here, they can't deny it. The video Geforce is gonna kill everybody. Everybody gonna be dead. Look at this. Look at this. If the plan is to kill everybody with a Minecraft hammer, okay. Everybody gonna end up dead. The hell out of here. But here's what y'all did. By y'all exposing them lies and we putting out the truth, that video, and then these snapshots that I'm putting out there, and people are putting out more truth, and they're like, MM2K, do more videos. And even though I can't do the videos, I'm still putting out things verbatim of my experience. And then more and more people are doing that. But y'all doing that, y'all are shutting down the hate. Now, there are some people that just are looking at their TubeBuddy statistics and they're like, well, I still got to go out there. Even though I know I'm going to get rhetoric from an MM2K, I don't care, man. I mean, my numbers is going down, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't get my tech decks or whatever I like to buy with my YouTube money. My money's going down, man. I got to take one for the team. But you see, the rhetoric has gone down significantly, and it's gone down to the point to where Tom Warren says, "I don't understand the hate for Stadia." But he was the architect of that hate. So you better believe it, that what you guys did was hard, diligent work. And y'all did it over a course of just simply 4 weeks. Even when that Reddit came about, and again, I still got my doubts. I think Duncan told me it was somebody that used, I don't know, because I got my doubts about that Reddit. When I went out there and I put my comparison video of Xcloud versus Stadia of Destiny 2, if it was just simply an angry mob of original Stadia enthusiasts, I could see me getting responses like, well, MM2K, get out of here, man. We don't doubt the performance, but there's not the games to supplement the performance. I didn't get that. Those weren't the rebuttals that I got. I got people making up infrastructure pings and talking about the rings on Saturn and why Xcloud in the future, with the help of Mega Man and Robin, is going to be better. They were actually making excuses for Xcloud instead of focusing on these quote-unquote things that they felt was wrong with Stadia. So that's why I got my doubts about that Stadia Reddit. I don't care. Because the audio didn't match the visuals. If they were full of people with authenticity, like my homie Duncan, that just happened to have some angst about some certain rollouts and some certain features and the lack of games, then the responses would have been completely different. I urge everyone to go through my Reddit posts and look at the responses that I got. Those are not responses of people with Stadia that are knowledgeable of the system, that have even tried it. It's full of liars. Full of liars. But in the advent of you guys answering the call, now we're getting responses like this. We're getting responses like this. I don't understand the hate for Stadia. So, I'm going to take the moment to give you all a round of applause. Look, I ain't got the most followers here. I don't get the most views. That's not what my content is for. My content is for people to be what? In the know. And now people know that if they're going to say something negative about Stadia, it better be rooted in facts. Because if not, the brigade is coming. And that's it. That's it. That's it. Y'all ain't got to call people out. Like, leave that to MM2K. Let me come out the trenches. Let me come out the trenches with the musket gun. Let me do it. But I need y'all to come out after me and take out the stragglers. Do you understand what I'm saying? And y'all answered the call, and y'all deserve a round of applause for that. Now, when somebody says something false, y'all get at him. I saw 706 Gamer in there coming here. Y'all beat his legs in. Y'all beat his legs in with iron cast frying pans. That's what we got to do. Speak fact to fiction. But so even though we took that moment to celebrate our victories as of late, here's what we should do ongoing. First and foremost, keep telling the truth and exposing those lies. And we need to coordinate and do it. If there's a bunch of you guys that are, look, the Stadia content creators, we're all on the same accord. We are, trust me. We're all on the same accord, and we want to show the truth. Now, some people have different strategies to their ways of showing the truth. Mine's a little bit more bombastic, to where people might be a little bit more measured, where I'll turn it over to great podcasts that I love watching every Sunday. My homies at Stadia Cast, Bill and Lloyd. They don't do all this yelling and screaming that I do. They're like, you know what? This is an adult podcast. We're going to act like adults. MM2K, you can scream into your pop filter all you want. And when they see people doing stupid stuff, I'm going to block you. I'm going to block you, shut you down, because you're not going to fill my chat with rhetoric, and I'm going to tell the truth. You know, they got their way of doing it. My homie Wingy. I love Wingy's content. I'm ashamed of myself that I haven't been embroidered in it earlier, but I love Wingy. Look, he's a lot more comical, and he's a lot more light-spirited with it. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, I don't take any offense to any of this stuff, but I'm gonna deal with it. I'm gonna address it. You know? And he has a very entertaining take as well. And the list goes at Generation Stadia. My homie Generation Stadia, he got that sweet poetry to him. I love his channel. I love all these content creators. Stadia Talk, I love them all. And then we got Duncan. Duncan is like, Duncan is the school counselor that cares about your future, but he ain't gonna try to be your friend. He ain't gonna try to keep everything rosy and sweet. He gonna make sure you get through. Have y'all had anybody like that where you're like, oh man, this school counselor's always on my nerves, but by the time you become a freshman to a senior, you're about to graduate, you're like, you know what, that person really cared about me. They were just trying to keep me aligned. That's Duncan. So we have a wide variety of people within this community, and we do not act in a vacuum. We are not mindless drones, and that's why I love this community. And with a community like this, we're going to get to the bottom of some stuff. But we got to keep telling the truth and exposing lies, and we got to coordinate to do it. And I said all that to say this. Even if you're not part of the immediate content creators, if you're looking to be a content creator, and you're like, MM2K, what do I got to do? I love this thing too. I want to start a channel. Hit me up. Hit me up. I'm more than willing to help out anybody. No strings attached. We got to get the truth out here. We got to mobilize and get the truth out here. I go to people all the time. I see them on Twitter, whatever they be in my comment. You need to start a channel. Even if you just start off slow, start somewhere where people know that they have somebody that has some cognization to them. Some sense of reality. Start off slow and then you build from there. However I can support you, let me know. But on top of telling the truth and exposing lies, we got to be honest of the shortcomings. You know what I'm saying? We got to be honest. When we're lacking the games, when we got the things going on, that despite all the rhetoric out there, let's just say if nobody was saying anything negative about Stadia at all, that's still not going to make people want to hop on the system. They're going to look at the inventory and be like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? I played all these games. I beat them already. Why would I double dip? So we got to, respond to Google and be like, we know that you got your heads down and you're not, you're doing the hard work. And we understand that you're self-aware and you realize you're not the best at communication. But if you wanted to get in this game, you got to be hitting on all 4 cylinders. Communication is key. So y'all got to do something regularly. 2. Well, now I'm going to stick on 1 for a second. If my homie Duncan, the school counselor that sees you from 9th grade to 12th grade, just wants to just see you go through and make something of yourself. If he can do better at communicating your product than you can, him as one person, and you have a whole board of people that you're paying a lot of money to, then you got a problem. And if the people that are there can't do the job, then you got to get outside help. It's as simple as that. You're a Fortune 500 company. You're the richest company in the world. Ain't no excuse to it. I don't care if you're waiting for base to release. You still got to keep people enthused. And you shouldn't leave it up to us, because when they see us out here more than you, there's only so many times that they see us and they start saying, well, hold on. Are they just preaching to the choir? Because I don't hear nothing from these guys. So y'all got to get up to task, Google. And we got to be honest about stuff like that. But while we're being honest about stuff like that, we don't want to get too extreme. We don't want to go too overboard. We don't want to hammer them about every single thing. Yeah, man, Nividia is the killer, is the Stadia killer. Because here's what happens. Even if you're upset and you're saying that out of anger, somebody that's listening to you that may think that you're a voice of reasoning, they're going to hear that. They're going to pick up Nividia, right? Believing that, and they're going to get this. They're going to get this, and they're going to be hellified disappointed, and then you're a reflection of the community. So if Stadia ain't saying nothing, and then you can't get your facts right, and there ain't no games coming, then they're just going to wash their hands of it. I don't know who to believe, what to believe. I'm just done with this whole thing. So it's important that we stay factual, that we don't let our emotions get the best of us. I know y'all sitting there saying that MM2K, you're a hypocrite. You're yelling and spitting all over the pop filter. Do not mistake my entertainment for my ability to be self-aware. If I feel some way about something, you know what I do? I push my phone away. Because there's some things that I wanted to say that were not going to be pretty. And I just push my phone away. Let me go play a game. And let me digest this and think about, okay, now that I'm a cooler, okay, I'm glad I didn't put that out there. Or after I've digested it, you know what? Let me cut this out a little bit, cut that out a little bit, not make it so sharp. Let me put it out there. It's important whether it's positive news or not so positive news, that we keep it based in fact, not emotion. I get social media is the bullet plate of emotion, but we got to be better than that. And we got to keep in mind, there could be unintentional oversight that just requires outsourced sources to help point out. There could be a glitch that they missed in all of their testing or something like that. Or like, for instance, I had mentioned, me and Duncan had talked last week on the show about BioShock Infinite coming to the platform. And why didn't they have BioShock Infinite to supplement the fact that Doom got pushed back? Because you could tell they were relying heavy on Doom. And that's maybe something they just weren't not thinking about. But maybe they will from now on, because you don't know. All those games that got pushed to the end of the year, they could get pushed again. You have no control over that. Control the things that are static. BioShock, not BioShock Infinite, but BioShock the Collection is already out. Y'all should be talking to 2K or whoever to get that port in the works right now. If those games still come out, great. Who cares? But if they don't come out, you got something that is of quality to rely on. And look at some other games. Maybe Bulletstorm, the redo. There's a bunch of other games out there that you guys can think. Ark. See if y'all can get Ark to come over. I know Ark runs crappy, but y'all got, you know what I'm saying? Y'all get the point here. Y'all get the gist. But y'all got to have feasible plan Bs. But there should have been like 3 to 4 ports that you guys were working on to supplement in case things were getting pushed back. And I think that was just an oversight. But I'm not going to swear and curse them out over something like that. That wasn't intentional. It's just that they didn't come to that resolution. Hopefully they'll understand why they should do it now. Because again, those games can get pushed back again. And lastly, I think we should be tempered in our reaction because Google has shown that they are listening. And it's time for us to work more in tandem opposed to just shouting at people because of emotion. Sometimes I look at these tweets and I look at responses and we look like a bunch of grade schoolers. And we got to understand that they're new, they're getting piled up on, and the first reaction when you see something that's negative, that's too sharp, they just reject it. They're not even going to look at it. These people are human too. Right or wrong, we got to deal with reality. They're not going to look at it. So be tempered and base the formula of your response in a way of being informative. Base the tone of your response, rather, for it to be informative. Not to just be like, take this, feel my hatchet, No, don't do that. Because with that hatchet, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face, because everyone loses out. If you got something important to say it with a tone of, look, I want you guys to be aware that from the outside looking in, this is a problem because of X, Y, Z. Now, if it seems like they're going completely tone deaf, then that's a different story. But it don't seem like that right now. It's very evident that they realize, one, that right now they're not the best at messaging, so they're keeping their head down and they're doing the hard work. I'd rather them do that than to see other entities that like to be on TV and film all the time, throwing their third-party vendors under the bus and promising things that never come to fruition. Y'all connect the dots, y'all know who I'm talking about. Another field. I'd rather just see their heads buried in the work and doing what needs to be done to fix the stuff. Because these are original PlayStation people. Most of these people are made up of PlayStation people. And that's what PlayStation did last generation when they had to get things together. So hopefully they can channel their inner spirits from when PlayStation had to fix the issues with the PlayStation 3 at the end of that generation. They can channel that in and turn things around as far as public perception here. Okay. But definitely a round of applause, and those are the important things that we need to do. And on to the chat now. Patty X91X says, yeah, but they won't give us anything at the moment because they're going all in with the base version. Absolutely. Bippity Bop. That is true. Cloud version true. Cold truth. Facts, most Google has no excuse. Says Cold Blood Sensei. Trizzy Rector, Google aren't bothered about the bad press. The service will speak for itself. Yeah, I do believe that's how they feel. It'll be soon. We'll have to soon see if that works. Just wait and see, Trizzy Rector. The same crap happened with Xbox 5 years of nothing to be excited about. Nah, I don't know. No. Again, like I said, these are former PlayStation people. They don't have the mindset of the new regime at Xbox. No, this is that new regime at Xbox is something totally new. All right. Last but not least, because we're getting close to the 2-hour mark, I want to put a couple of articles up here real quick. Put that one up there. And then put this one up here. And I want to precurse me putting these articles up here with this. I am not being insensitive to the plight that people are dealing with in relates to the carnivorous virus. It's a big deal, and it's frightening. I get it, to a lot of people, and hopefully, they can get a grip on this thing and no other people have to die because of it. And I'm not saying that video games are more important than lives, but this is a video game show. So because it's a video game show, we are talking about the impact of video games. Trust me, I don't talk about video games 24/7. I have kids and family, you know what I'm saying? These are the social aspects of this we talk about as well. But again, y'all don't listen to MM2K for my social awareness. Y'all listen to MM2K for my game content, and I'm fully aware of that, so that's what I'm going to stick to here on this channel. However, this is going to have an impact on gaming. Now, y'all see this very first article, and if you listen to my video earlier today on my other channel, I had brought this up. Give me 1 second. Let me fix something real quick. Okay, so remember when we were talking about the tariffs way back when and the possible impact that they were going to have on consoles releasing? Like consoles, the next generation consoles were likely going to be really, really, really expensive. Maybe an extra $50 to $100 to what they originally planned because of this whole issue with the tariffs. And it kind of opened our eyes to the impact of global actions can have on gaming. It kind of opened our eyes and got us out of a prism. But it only did that momentarily, because as soon as the tariffs seemed to no longer be a threat, we went back into our vacuum and thought, oh, nothing else will ever affect anything. We took our eye off the ball. Now we got carnivorous. And this article from, no thanks, Business Insider, I don't want to get your spam. This article from Business Insider illustrates that PlayStation 5 and new Xbox are due out this holiday season, but both could be delayed because of carnivorous. And then here goes some bullet points from the article. Sony and Microsoft are working on the next versions of the PlayStation and Xbox, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X respectively. Both new consoles are expected to arrive 2020 holiday shopping season, but those plans may change due to the Wuhan carnivorous outbreak, according to a note from the financial services company Geforce Group published this week. Sony and Microsoft both manufacture game consoles and accessories in China, which has been hit the hardest by the virus. And it's a very great read that breaks down things. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about in here is that though most of the major video games were made in North America, so this is listen to this. Most of the major video games are made in North America, in Europe, in Japan, large components of those games are outsourced to China. Yes. I think back to Horizon Zero Dawn, where they went and paid 200 Chinese developers to help polish that game and make that game what it is today. As much as 30 to 50% of art creation in Western games is done in China, according to the note. In terms of the hardware itself, nearly 100% of the manufacturing takes place in China. So, you have two-pronged things that are going to happen. You're going to have software that's possibly impacted, but the software that isn't impacted, even if it is available, you're not going to have the hardware to play it. Right? Or you're not going to have the hardware out available for you to play it with nuanced next gen experiences. If this threat lingers. So I said all of that to say this, and again, not slighting the impact of this epidemic, not just brushing off lives. Again, but this is a video game show. So we talk about all and everything that impacts video games. This is, however, where cloud solutions are going to be key. We had scares earlier with the trade wars, like I said, with China. And then we had this. But despite possible blockage in the regions affected, because we heard that Google ran out of China, for lack of a better term, to avoid, their people getting infected. So opposite of people not being able to access Stadia there because the data set is not being available there, these changes are not pretty much affected outside of those regions. I mean, yeah. You have scenarios where game software is going to be affected. But again, a non-dedicated device solution isn't as impacted as a dedicated device solution. Imagine this. We get closer to next gen. We find out that these games are then E3 comes out and then Sony later down the road does their show. These consoles are expected to come out in November in time for Christmas. October, they announce, even though if they get this thing under control, that because of the cleanup and the pushback into, let's just say if it takes them 3 months to get this in control, even if they get this in control by May or June, that's 3 months of production that couldn't occur, and it's going to push back the possibility likely of them being ready to ship in November. October, both of the major companies make their announcements. We're deep to regret that due to the impact of the carnivorous virus, that it has impacted our ability to be able to release these games or these consoles, these newer experiences in November. We're sorry. We'll keep you posted. We're looking at January, February of 2021. But then Stadia comes out and says, we pray for the families that have been impacted by the carnivorous virus and everybody that has, had to deal with it. And we understand the concerns of the community at mass. With that said, Google has made the contingency plans to avoid disruption to our products and services in light of this. We are planning to go to Stadia 2.0 effective November 10th. November 10th, we will be introducing full 4K 60 for all of our titles. We will be introducing also 120 frames for select titles, and that inventory will continue to grow, and we will be introducing blah, 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 blah. Join us, on such and such date as we give you more details of these events. Now, I want everybody to get out of their silo, their bubble, and say that won't happen. I'm not saying, look, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't even have a magic 8-ball in front of me. But I want y'all to think. Finally. Think. That if that happens, and production is pushed back for hardware, who is really going to combat Stadia? Unless Amazon comes out with something, who's really going to combat Stadia? And don't say Nividia Geforce is going to do it, because Nividia Geforce, they're handicapped because they don't own the platform that these games are derived from. They have to make partnerships everywhere. And nobody has to tinker with anything to make their stuff work necessarily with Geforce. And what do these companies get out of going with Nividia Geforce? What do they get out of it? Thousands of games. We got thousands of games coming. It can't be much. So with that being said, with that being at hand, and the fact that even Nividia Geforce can't look right now, Nividia Geforce, you can't even use your Steam controller to play your Steam games. Wingy showed you earlier that because he didn't download his game on his original PC, that he can't install it on the cloud and play it on his phone yet. That he has to install the game on dedicated hardware before he can play it on his phone. What if my intent was not to have dedicated hardware? That's the stipulation of that game developer and that publisher. Nvidia can't control all these moving parts with all these different partners because they don't own the platform this is derived from. Stadia does. So there's certain contingencies that you got to deal with in order to get on Stadia. That's why their performance and such is more consistent. So I beckon back to my original question. Put on your thinking caps. Is Stadia dead in light of this possibility? Do you think Google is saying we're going to give this up in 3 months in light of this possibility? Y'all can't be serious. Y'all can't be. You can't be. Just put on your thinking caps. You ain't got to like cloud gaming. Just like a tornado watcher ain't gotta like being caught in the eye of the storm. Their job is to inform people when it's coming and what the impact is gonna be. And despite my personal biases or likes towards cloud gaming, these are just the facts. And y'all can't be void of them and be considered reasonable in this whole discussion. So I want y'all to think about that. This is Business Insider. Not saying it's Esther Stone, not saying it's golden. They could come through next month. We finally got this contained. We figured out how to do it. It's not going to have any impact on, everybody's going to go back. We're going to clean out the areas for like 2 or 3 months to make sure that the virus, there's no trace of it, and then everybody's going to come back. But believe you me, if that doesn't happen, and Stadia can say, now we're giving you 4K 60 off your web browser. No additional charge but the price of the games. What? I ain't got to wait for the Xbox Series X or the PlayStation 5. What? I can just go to my Chrome browser, play with my favorite YouTuber? What? Oh boy. That's where we have to put on our thinking caps, and we got to think in the landscape, of these business entities. This Stadia dead is cool for the smelly YouTube creators with the ashy shirts and the ashy hats and the tight t-shirts. But beyond that, it has no relevancy. It makes no sense. And if I can do anything on this platform, it's not to get 1,000 subs. It's not to make money off of this. It's to make sure that I do for y'all what my brother did for me. Keep y'all in the know. Period. And that's it. That's it. Everything that I have for this episode, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope y'all thought that, there was at least some informative tidbits there, a little bit of entertainment. But before I go, let me go read the chat. Patty X says 5.1 sounds good and 2 free games each month. Treasure Rector says just being able to jump from devices on Stadia made console archaic to me. I totally agree with you. Like, I haven't, the only thing that I've done is I've played Fallout 76 on my PlayStation 4 via the PlayStation Remote. That's a hell of a system. Try that out, by the way. It's a hell of a system. And I got to download my PlayStation Plus games for the month, but that's it. Treasure Rector says, real talk, consoles ain't making no sense to me anymore. Cold Blood Sensitive, I hope no sugar-coated diabetes games like Xbox is releasing Dear God and Mercy on Stadia if all they get is cute, my family-friendly games as exclusives. I don't think so, and I can't talk much, but I'm hearing something that could possibly drop some jaws. That's all I'm going to say. There's a reason why they're quiet. Treasure Rector says, I have faith Jade Raymond is going to drop some heavy exclusive-ish on Stadia. Sean Livingston said, at Cold Blood Sensei, have you listened to the GDC talks? The stuff in those talks are already in the platform. He says the money that they had, they could buy Nividia. God damn it. Yeah, they could. Definitely. Bippity Bob says, laugh out loud. Same people that are hating are going to be the same people they jump on it when the base comes out. By that time, Stadia will have more features in games too and be more polished. Absolutely. And big ups to Bippity Bob. Bippity Bob. You're a regular supporter of the platform. You are now a mod, my friend. I'm loving it. Just show up to the platform, guys. I'll make you guys mod. Mods. Cold Blood Sensei. Even though you're a Stadia hater, I gotta make you a mod too. That's my boy. That's my man, 50 grand, man. My homies do. And look, Cold Blood, he gonna join me. He gonna hop over with me when I go live on the next platform. But I gotta run a Cold Blood. I know I'm giving I'm talking out loud in front of Cold Blood. You gotta give me a little bit of time, or I might stream later. I thought I would be able to go straight to Twitch directly after this, but my wife is making me run somewhere. So I gotta run somewhere and I'll be right back. And if I have enough time, I'll hop on with you. If not, then I'll just jump on later on tonight, okay? Just so you're aware. And that's pretty much it. So I want to thank everybody for coming through. I apologize for the technical difficulties. That's why I tried to run earlier at 11:30. It just didn't work out. Had hellified technical difficulties, just the wonders of technology. But when technology works right, it works right, you know. So big ups to everybody watching. We got 15 people watching right now. Static Fox says, thanks for the chat, brother. Yeah, I appreciate it. Trizzle Rector says, great show, man. So I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you guys. And definitely, again, check me out on Stadia Talk tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be there with Chase. Me and Chase are going to circle together later tonight and get in prep for the show. And we're going to have a hell of a time, man. Great show in Stadia Talk. Definitely go and follow them. And sub to all their material, just so everybody's in the know. You ain't gotta like cloud gaming, but at least be in the know, man. You know, let's not do our fellow gamers that may think differently from us any disfavors by spreading false information. And with that said, thank you everybody. I appreciate it. Cold Blood Sensei, I'll chat with you in the DM. Like, I have open door policy, and Cold Blood Sensei is a great supporter of mine, and other people have given me some great stuff behind the scenes. Cold Blood, I'll let you know if I can go. I'm going to go live later tonight. It's just when is the question. But I wanted to go live earlier in the day too. But, you know, when the general calls, man. With that said, I want to thank everybody for coming out here. Thank you so much. And as always, you have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.